Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, how are you all on this fine evening? So, I want to talk about a couple of things, right? The differences in modeling, so be it box modeling, edge modeling, and subdivision modeling, which is also not something that the second years have had so far. So I thought it would be interesting to talk about it. So I want to show you like how I made this type of house. Of course, this is not good enough for the assignment because it's over 16,000 triangles, so you can't use it for the assignment. But overall, I think it could be interesting, like how I approach this and how I model this. So let's just start a new file, right? To see it a little bit easier. So first things first, right? We need to make sure that we're working in meters. So you can do that by going to your settings and then change the units to meters. It's a little bit easy to work with because it's easier to say, okay, my doorway is 1 meters and 80 centimeters high instead of like 180 centimeter. So it's a little bit easier to do like this. And also most game engines, for example, they work in meters. So which is why we use meters in mine as well. So let's just make a house, right? I'm just gonna wing this. I have no idea how this is gonna turn out, so we'll just see how this goes, right? Again, first thing, I want to make sure that it actually has an integer width and height. So I want to make sure that it actually has a common width, for example, like 10 meters. And let's see how high I'm gonna make it. Well, assume that every floor has 2 meters each, right? So let's do 7 for fun, and let's do 15 for depth, right? So I want to make sure this actually everything's on 0, 0, 0, and then of course we're gonna move it up. Now, since my pivot point, as this is called, right, the one in the middle here, this is your pivot point. Since it's in the middle, I can assume that the half of 7 is 3.5. So not 5.5. So it's now sitting directly on the ground as it should. And let's just start modeling, right? So first thing, I want to add are 2 lines here, 2 of them. So for each floor there should be a line, right? That makes sense. Okay, let's see if they are actually aligned properly. In this case, well, you can see that this line here is not, so I'm gonna double click on one, and that will make the selection of the entire edge loop. So double clicking, selecting the entire edge loop in this case, and then I'm just gonna snap it. So I'm gonna turn on my snap to grid here. Then when I move it down, you'll see that it snaps on the actual grid. Same thing here, a little bit down, there we go. Beautiful. Now the reason why I add these, right, so I can know how high my door should be and how high my window should be, for example. Actually, I'm gonna make it a little bit narrower. I think this is really big. There you go. Beautiful, right? So let's just immediately turn this into a roof by just scaling them together like this. Maybe also a little bit less deep as well. There you go. Beautiful house we're done, right? Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So a couple of things that I want to mention, right? There's this very common misconception that everything should be made out of one single mesh, and I don't know why people think about it, but this is a really common misconception. So what they think that you should do is, like, if you want to add a door here, that you need to add edge loops here, for example, and then you can offset this here, and then scale it down, and then do like this, right? It's you can if you want to, right? And then if you want to add more, if you want to add a door post, you also need to add an edge loop here, for example, and also one here. Like, this is how people think that you should model it, right? Then you extrude this and then you get a doorway. Sure, but this adds so many triangles when you don't even need to do this, right? So what I tend to do is, right, in this case, I kind of want you to do it like this, so we can actually have an actual doorway, so we can extrude this inside, so we actually have an actual doorway. But first, I want to delete this part over here, and also the entire bottom part. So one simple trick that you should always do when you start modeling anything for a game engine is, like, okay, will the player, in this case, will they ever see the bottom of the house Well, if they do, then something went wrong, so I'm just gonna delete the faces immediately so I don't have to worry about them. And again, I'm just gonna snap this to the grid so it's perfectly on the ground. Now my doorway right now is, well, like 30 centimeters wide. That sounds like a very bad idea, so I'm just gonna scale up a little bit. This is like a meter-ish, give or take. This should be maybe a little bit higher. Oh. Like this. This would make sense for a door. Then I'm just gonna extrude it in. Oh, by the way, Control E is extrude. Those are wondering what I'm doing. Control E. Then you have door, right? Now, this face is pointless, so make sure that you delete it as well, because it doesn't do anything besides being there. This is something I'll talk about more in the future, but this kind of face is all really bad, so I'm just gonna delete it, and there you go. Now, if you want to add a door post, right, you can of course extrude this outwards. You can. It doesn't make any sense, but you can. So what I do, I just make a new box here, a new box in this case, and just put it inside the actual doorway, like this. Just gonna turn on my anti-aliasing a little bit. There you go. So this is a perfect valid way of modeling, right? This is perfectly valid. This actually saves you a lot of triangles, and it's a lot easier to do as well. So what you can even do, right, in this case, I'm just gonna copy paste this to the other side, so Control D in this case. Just gonna move it. There you go. Now, right now, currently there are 3 meshes. Like this one, and this one. Now the reason we only want to use one mesh is for when you have something in a game engine. Every object that needs to be drawn on the screen will have a thing called a draw call, and the more you have, the slower your game will run. So, but if we're to combine this mesh into one mesh, so just go to like mesh and then combine. Now it's one single mesh again, right? And so this will only use one single draw call instead of the currently, if you do like this, there will be 3 different draw calls. So it's like a bit of optimization that you can do. In this case, I'm just gonna combine these. So I'm gonna again go to my mesh combine, like this. Now they are one mesh, right? So you can actually do it like this as well. So cool trick as well that you can do is I'm gonna grab the top faces here, and I'm gonna bridge them, right? Now you get this flat surface here that looks really weird, but you can actually set it to blend, for example. Then add more divisions, and then you get an actual arcway. Immediately with a single click, you get a really cool arcway that actually works really well. So again, let's show it again. So you select both faces here, and you go to bridge. You set the curve type to blend, and you add more divisions here. Then you get a really cool arcway, like this, for example. In this case, I don't want to use it, so I'm gonna undo this, and I'm gonna grab these 2 outer edges here, so this one and that one. I'm gonna move it up a little bit, and then I'm just gonna bridge them together like this. Perfect. So this is super efficient. If you do this, everybody will be very happy. Then I'm gonna move this a little bit down, like this. So we have a house, we have a doorway, ish. And we'll only have 94 triangles, so that's a good start. So let's continue. Wouldn't it be cool if it had a balcony? So I'm gonna add or on the side, or let's do one on the side. So I'm gonna grab both sides here. I'm gonna extrude it again, so Control E. In this case, I'm gonna grab my thickness. Just gonna push it up. No, actually no, I don't like this. Let's do this one. It's way cooler. I do it like this. So extrude. Oh, other one as well. Let's do 50. Oh, ooh. I should not do that. Not that one. Okay, let's do 100. Let's do 200. Let's do 150. Okay, perfect. Now we got a balcony. That's cool. That's always good. So the only reason why I'm doing this is because we can add more cool detail to it. So for example, again, I can add a box here on the side, right? So this will be like a post, which is always really cool. Like you can add one here. If you add one here, you can also add one, for example, not like this. You can also add one here. Now it doesn't make any sense besides the fact that it looks pretty cool. So you can add more detail by just extruding this a little bit, and then you can add these cool door posts, quotation mark, to add a little bit more extruding parts of it. So I like this actually. Let's add more of these. I'm gonna opposite side. Oh, come on. Maybe a little bit forward. There you go. And there you go. Okay, of course we also need one here as well, horizontal, and here horizontal as well, and here and here and here. So I'm gonna add a lot more, but first let's add a window. And I want to show you a simple trick on how to add a perfectly circular window, so a perfectly round window. The first thing though, we need more edge loops here, so I'm going to add one more around the entire building, which we're going to use anyway, so I might as well do it right now, like this. So a simple trick for doing this is you go to your front view in this case. I'm going to add a cylinder. I'm going to put it roughly on the conversion points here, and then I'm going to see, okay, how big should my window be. Let's go a little bit bigger. Okay, next step would be to make sure that we do subdivision or something like, for example, 12. You can even do 8 if you want to, just depends on how far you want to take it. And then I'm going to turn on my snap to vertex here, this one, and then we'll snap it to the actual vertices here. So it's perfectly aligned with this actual edge loop here and here as well. So I'm going to grab this again, and I'm going to go to my face mode. I'm going to grab all of these, the big ones here. I'm just going to hit extrude, and I'm going to offset it. That's the only thing I'm going to do. I'm going to offset it, so they roughly match up with my cylinder here. Then I'm just going to move these, do the same thing here, just align them a little bit, a little better here as well. And here, I'm going to grab this one and this one. I'm just going to scale it down so I can actually move it up at the same time. And I'm going to align them again roughly with the actual cylinder. Same for this one as well. Let's do the inside and here. Okay, now you can see, right, we're actually missing vertices here. So I'm gonna not, well, you can add an edge loop here, which is fine, but it's a little bit inefficient. So I'm gonna use the multi-cut tool. So I'm gonna add a cut here. Roughly, again, I don't care if it's like exactly or not, but for now I just want to see that they're there. Again, I'm gonna align it. Again, same thing here. Might as well do this one as well. Now, you kind of want to be careful though with the set of vertex in this case, because if you do it, I don't know what's going to happen, but let's try it out. Yeah, it just went all the way inside, so you don't want to do this. So be careful when you're using snapping. It might cause really weird issues or other mistakes, so be careful with snapping, especially snap to vertex, because it can do weird stuff that you don't want. So again, I'm going to cut it. In this case, I want to make sure that I'm actually using the right vertex, or this one. Again, I don't care if it's straight or perfectly crooked. I don't care at this stage. I just want the vertices to be there. And again, I'm just going to align these. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect, because you don't care if it's perfect or not. You just want to have the illusion of being round and not necessarily being perfectly round, right? So let's do this one as well. Did it break? Yep, it broke. Oh wow, that's a good catch. The fuck just happened? Okay, well, in this case, if it happens, I'm gonna show you how to fix this. Since I would have to undo this all the time, so I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna just delete this, right? Fuck it, I'm just gonna delete it completely. I'm just gonna fix it by bridging this stuff over here. Just bridge it and bridge it. Now, hitting G on your keyboard, the G for Gerald, is doing the last action again. So in this case, I just hit G for bridging and then bridge again. Okay, cool. So this will make a perfectly round window. So I'm gonna grab all of these, and I'm gonna do something first before extruding it. So I'm first gonna bevel this, right? So it will add an extra line, to which I can use, for example, to actually bevel this out. or extrude this out. In this case, I am going to do that. So I'm gonna grab these, gonna push them inside a little bit. Another mistake here as well, which we can fix in a bit, and then I'm gonna push these out. There you go. So let's see what this is. So a good trick to turn to check your mesh quality, if mesh is still correct or intact, is you just hit 3 on the keyboard, and if everything is smooth and organic, it's fine. If you get like weird stuff like this, something went wrong. So I'm gonna grab this, I'm gonna just delete it, and this one as well. Now you can see, right, this is not organic or smooth, so these vertices here are actually not connected. Even though it might show it is, it's not. Right? This is really common Maya annoyance of everybody. But these are not welded together, funnily enough. So I'm gonna delete one of them, and I'm gonna bridge it again, and then you can see, right, they're now perfect. So this is one of the things that that if you don't know about it, you'll be like super confused. But once you know about it, it actually makes kind of sense. Oh, I fucked up here as well. Bridge. There you go. So let's test it. Everything looks fine. That looks perfect. Okay, let's put everything back. Cool. Let's add some more windows here. In this case, I want to add 3 windows here, all at the same time. So I want to be lazy. So I'm gonna hit extrude again. But this time I'm gonna turn off my keep faces together. If I do this, you see that it actually creates 3 separate faces, right? Like this. Instead of like doing one big one, you actually have multiple at the same time. So in this case, keep faces together off, and then you get this. So again, I'm gonna check my mesh. It's perfect. And again, I'm gonna hit extrude. I'm gonna put it in, and there you go. 3 windows and a single click. Okay, we need more windows here as well. But we don't actually have a vertical line here, right? So we need to add more of these, otherwise we'll get into trouble. So I'm gonna add, let's do 2. 2. Also, this is a cool trick as well, right? I've now got my second selected, and now when I hit mouse button 3, or the one in the middle, and drag in the viewport, you can actually add more at a whim. So I'm gonna do 2. I'm also gonna do sliding here as well, so you can actually move it down if you want to. Again, hit enter. Let's see, where do we want our windows? Maybe we want a big one just here and here. Again, I can offset it and extrude it. Oh, extrude it in. There you go. Windows. Do we care about the backside? Maybe not. Do we? No. I do care about this one over here though, so I'm gonna add one here as well. Maybe a little bit smaller than the one at the bottom. And I'm gonna scale it down to make it a little bit more square. Like this. And again, extrude in. Windows. Perfect. Mesh is still correct, right? Everything's still nice and organic. So this one works really well. Okay, let's have a look at this, right? This is not very optimized, right? These are just extra triangles that don't add anything. So you can fix that by either doing like this, right? You can actually toggle it well, like these together. So you can just click and drag. Click and drag. This works fine. Oh, just be careful. Oh god, this is so annoying. Let me just zoom in. Same thing here. Nope, no. It can be super tedious. This is so annoying. Come on. Come on, thank you. There we go. Come on. Okay, so this is one way, right? It's tedious, but you can also do, right? You should just grab 2 vertices here, for example, and go to your edit mesh, and then you can hit merge to center, and they're welded. Again, I'm gonna hit G, last action. There you go, weld together. This is much more efficient. And now we have a house each, right? And 485 triangles. So we still have 7,515 to go. Brilliant. Okay, let's add a roof. I'm gonna show you a simple trick for this roof. The angle, right, the way this is right now, it's perfect, and actually matching it with a second mesh is really difficult. So I'm gonna show you a super dirty trick. I apologize in advance. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate my actual mesh. I'm gonna hit Shift I, so I isolate that one. I'm gonna grab my faces here of the roof. I'm gonna invert my selection, or you can go to select and then inverse. I'm gonna delete these, and then I'm gonna double click on them and I'm gonna extrude them all out. There you go. I'm gonna grab these as well, so all the way around. Again, I'm gonna click one and double click on the second one to create the entire edge loop selection, as you can see. And again, same here, I'm gonna push it out. Let's get everything back together. Maybe a little bit too sticking out too far, so I'm gonna go to my left view. I'm gonna grab these. Gonna scale a little bit down. Ooh, a little bit down. Let's just move this one a little bit. Okay, cool. But this though, this edge loop here, it doesn't do anything. So we need to make sure that we get rid of it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit double click on them. Now there's a bad way of doing this and there's a good way of doing this. Now the easiest way would just hit backspace right now, right? You're like, oh cool, I'm done, right? But when you go to your vertex view, you can still see that the vertices are still here, right? So this is now a giant n-gon because it has more than 4 vertices. So it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vertices, which means you suck at life. So in this case, I'm gonna undo this. The safest way to delete anything in Maya, undo, is to hit Control backspace, right? So if you click Control backspace, they're gone. There are no n-gons anymore. So this is the perfect way of doing this. The same thing here on the opposite side, this one. Again, Control backspace, same with this one. And this one, Control backspace. And Control backspace. Amazing. A house. Okay, you can see, right, I got this really weird shading over here. It's a little black grayish. If you want to fix it, you can just go to your mesh display and then just hit harden edge and power resolve. For those who get annoyed by that, that will fix the entire issue. Cool, right, so let's go back here. We already have these posts, so I'm gonna continue on this. I'm gonna rotate 190 degrees. Nope. Yep. Okay. Now, just be careful with this, right? These two are on the exact same location on the z-axis, right? On the z-axis. On the x-axis. Yeah, on the x-axis. They're exactly the same location. This might cause what we call C-fighting or flickering. So make sure that you move it out a little bit so it actually sticks out, just a little bit. This will solve a lot of those weird issues that can happen. And let's move it inside. Actually, there's one stick out here. That's kind of cool. Same here. Should also move a little bit down. Again, make sure it's sticking out here. There's an actual difference. Actually, let's make this a little bit narrower. There we go. Same thing here, just move it. Oh, this should. It's easy. The other one, let's move this one. Okay. Let's do another one. So let's go on. This should be. Yep. Rotate Y. Scale up real big. I just want to make sure that it doesn't cause any weird flickering, so I'm gonna make sure that everything is in between there. Perfect. Okay, now this one is a bit special. this box is a bit special, right? Because we have faces here, like this one over here. We can't see them, right? We will never be able to see them. So what we do is we make sure that you delete them. Same for this one as well. And like the back side, like can we see the back side? Probably not, right? So I'm gonna delete them as well. So every face that you cannot see, make sure that you delete them. And this one's a little bit more special because we can't see it from multiple angles. So we can't do this anything with this one except for maybe the one here and the bottom one. Everything else should just stay. And you do it for the rest as well. So this is just to optimize your mesh and to make sure that you don't get into any more extra triangles. Okay, so when you're in your channel box editor, you can see, right, you got a lot of inputs here. This is called your history. The history will record every action you do in Maya, which sounds absolutely amazing, but if it's too big, if this list gets too big, it will crash Maya and your file will become corrupt. You don't want that unless you want to cry a little bit, then you do, but make sure that you delete this once in a while. You can do that by going to your edit and then delete by type history. You do this, it will be gone, right? So make sure that you do it every now and again, otherwise Maya will crash and it will make your file corrupt, and then you can start all over again from scratch, which is not that fun, right? Okay, let's just do a couple more. Let's add a thingy here. I don't know what's called. I'm gonna show a different technique. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a plane here, right? I'm just gonna add a plane. Let's see how big it should be. I have no idea. Let's do 1 by 1. Let's do 1 by 2 by 1 by 2. Yeah. So this is a different method of doing the same thing, but I'm just gonna hit face. I'm gonna hit extrude. I'm gonna hit offset. There you go. I'm gonna make sure it's actually on the right location, like this. Now, this is what I mentioned with C fighting, right? This is really bad, right? So I'm gonna isolate this for a second. I'll show you what happens. So there's a face here and a big face here. Like you can see it like pop up every once in a while. This one. So there are two faces occupying the same space. So if I just delete this one, problem solves. If this happens, check to see if there are faces on top of other faces, and if they are, delete them, right? So same thing here. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna edge extrude this. I'm gonna grab all these edges here and all these edges here. I'm just gonna hit extrude. It works the same way, but in this case you only do the edges like this. This is a really common modeling method for example making characters. It's really common. For architectural stuff, not that common, but you can if you want to. But for characters, this is really nice. I'm gonna copy paste them a little bit. I'm just gonna move them roughly where they should be. Well, if there are any questions, don't be afraid to ask them. I move it up here as well. That's kind of cool. This is cool. This is always good. Okay. So this is something you want to be careful of, right? There's now a hole in my box, so I'm gonna be super dirty. I'm just gonna move it inside my roof. No one cares, right? No one can see it, so why not? I'm gonna do the same thing here. Just gonna push it inside my roof because no one can see it, and therefore we don't care. Beautiful house, right? And all this in half an hour, 20 minutes less. Now I can do it faster, but yeah. Okay, so box modeling is what we've done, right? Or regular modeling, where you just extrude faces. Edge modeling is where you extrude the edges, for example. And then there's a thing called subdivision modeling, which is, for example, for movies, right? So, for example, you're modeling for a movie, and every model or object in the movie will get smoothed, right? So it will hit 3 on this one. Page up. So everything will be smooth, right? But this doesn't look like a box anymore, right? Now it just looks like a fucking donut. So subdivision modeling means that you're gonna add more edge loops than you actually need, but they will be used in order to actually support the structure that you want to make. So for example, if I now were to add 2 edge loops here, I'm gonna pinch them. Now I'll show you what happens, right? So I'm gonna do this here. I'm gonna hit 3 again. So now you can see the actual shape retains a little bit better. Do the same thing here. I'm gonna hit 3. Oh, I'm gonna hit connect. One more time. Hit connect. And connect. Now you should see, right? It actually keeps the shape a little bit better, right? If now I add more of them. Oh, did I forget one? I forgot one. Oh, I've got hang on somewhere. How did I do that so fast? Ah, there we go. Okay, there you go. We need to add more though. So I'm gonna add 2 here as well. And here. Okay, so the reason why we're actually doing this for movies is while you look at this, right? So the angle right now between 2 sides is perfect 90-degree angle, which can never happen. This does not exist in the actual world. Even though it might look 90 degrees, it's not, right? So what we do in movies, we just hit 3. For example, you get this really nice rounded edge here, which will actually catch lighting and therefore it will look really nice. So this is subdivision modeling. Downside though, right now I've got my window selected. It's 174 triangles for just a window panel. Now when you smooth it though, it actually turns into 11,000 triangles for a window. Exactly. So when you model for movies, you don't care about poly count. You just if your PC can handle it, then you're done. But for games, we don't want to do this, so we need to be a little bit more careful. Now, the way this works is based on a thing called the Catmull-Clark subdivision method, which sounds really epic, but it's not. It's actually really simple. And just grab paint, right? So, for example, you've got 3 vertices, or you got 1 vertex here, 1 vertex here, 1 vertex here, right? So this is the whole window itself. When you hit smooth, it will try to interpolate between those 3 vertices. So it will create a nice curved actual edge, right? If you were to move these vertices close together, you will get the same thing, same curve, but then based on the actual one that's here. So that's how this works. So it's just moving based on the distance of 3 vertices. So again, for movies this is perfectly acceptable. For games this is really not acceptable, because right now we're already over 11,000, because the window adds 11,000 triangles, right? So going from 819 to 11,653, which means I filled my own course with a minus 300. So okay, so for games we can do something similar. It's a similar approach, but it does not look as pretty as this, but it's very similar. Just grab this one. So we just grab these edges over here. I'm gonna do this one here as well, and we're gonna bevel them a little bit, like 0.1. So from a distance, right, you can't really tell the difference, but from a distance they look pretty much the same. Of course, when you get closer you can actually see, okay, this one is a little bit more rough than this one, right? This has really nice curves, and this one is just a little bit more straight. But from distance, this is, you can't really tell from distance at all. So for games we just hit bevel for everything, if we can. And for movies we just hit subdivision modeling, or just add more edges than you'll ever need in order to actually maintain the proper shape. Actually hit one here as well, to be honest, and then you get really nice sharp window. This is fun to do though, but yeah, not a common for games at all. So I'm gonna delete this one and this one. Now if you have the budget left to actually bevel your edges, I have no idea if I just did the non-Euclidean space for movies. It's a very common technique though. The Mr. Catmull, he actually is one of the people who actually founded Pixar a long time ago, and he actually came up with that equation for the Catmull-Clark subdivision method. Let's do this as well. Let's move it up. I'm just gonna center this. Perfect. Okay, I'm just gonna move it up through my roof to make sure no one can see it. A little bit higher. Just make sure that it doesn't stick out for the other side. Then you're golden. You see other unnecessary faces. There are. Let's delete them. Okay. What is a house without chimneys? But first I'm gonna add a window here. I'm just gonna rotate it on the y-axis. Gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna place it in front of it. Just stick it on there, like you mean it. I'm just gonna align it a little bit. In this case, don't scale it, right? Because that will actually change the proportions here. So just move the actual vertices like this. I think this one's already correct. Yeah, like that. Same thing for here. I'm just gonna move it down. Again, we don't move the vertices. Sorry, we don't scale. We just move the vertices themselves. And a little bit. And even more. Beautiful, right? Beautiful. Actually, let's move them a little bit more. Oh, there we go. Oh, I should save it as well. Following. Yeah. Just do it somewhere. Nice. Beautiful. So, I'm gonna grab this one. Now I'm gonna show you a simple trick. Yeah. There'll be more poles. There'll be more poles. We're not done yet. We're gonna add 2 of them here. Okay, well, since you asked for it, let's just do it right now. I'm just gonna done. Same thing here. And done. Beautiful. It's amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna show you a simple trick again. How do you mirror? True. So a common question that we get all the time from first year students, like how do you mirror an object in Maya? Well, I'm just gonna combine these real fast so it's only one mesh. You do it by flipping the scale on a minus axis, so a scale minus x will actually flip the windows. So you just invert the scale. It's super dirty, but it's how you mirror an object. Yeah, this is movie magic, right? You can actually, well, since people want that, I'm just gonna add one more here because it looks cool anyway. There you go. See, this will easily support the actual way of the house. Now this is boring. I'm gonna grab this one. I'm just gonna push it all the way down, all the way to the right. Not because we need it, because it would just break up the giant square that we have here. Big squares are boring, so that's why I'm gonna add just a line here that will just break it up. You can actually move it down a little bit, but for now it's fine. Same thing here. You're gonna push it to break up the big face. There you go. Maybe we can add a chimney, because every house needs a chimney, especially back then. Now let's make a cube, push it up. Now where do we want our chimney? Let's do it here. Do we want it to be big or small? Let's do it a little bit bigger. There you go. Chimney. Absolutely beautiful house. In 45 minutes. Let's grab this one. I'm gonna do it here as well. Ooh, that's fast. Again, flipping it just by minus it. So I'm gonna minus, what should this be? I think it's minus set. Right. Or not. Minus y. Or not. Fuck. Jesus Christ. So it's gonna be minus x, like I thought it would be. Push it. Make sure it sticks out. Make sure this one sticks out as well. Beautiful. Yeah, it's still there. We just delete it. But that's something I would usually do when we clean up the scene, but yeah. Maybe we want to add a bit more poles because everybody loves poles apparently in the chat. Gonna add more to support the actual structure. Just gonna mirror these as well. Just gonna flip it to the other side. Gonna grab these as well. Gonna push it back on the edge. Amazing. So 900, only 900. We're still way below 1,000. So we can add way more detail if we want to. That's because we are going to add more detail, of course. So right now though, it still looks really, really flat, right? I think everybody can agree on this. It looks really flat and boring. Yankee apparently as well. Simple as well, right? I'm gonna ask you a question that you shouldn't take sexually, but can anything be straight, right? Can something be perfectly straight? The answer is, of course, is no, right? So nothing can be perfectly straight. So we should really have these poles that make it a little bit more less perfect. So what you can do in this case, I'm gonna add at least 3 edge loops here. Just not gonna pinch them all. I'm just gonna distribute them equally, like 3 of them. Simple trick here is I'm gonna grab these, right? I'm just gonna rotate a little bit, just a little bit. See, and it breaks up the perfectly straight alignment of the house. And now you get a little bit more like someone actually lived there. And this is actual wood, old wood. Same thing here. I'm gonna add 3 of them. In this case, I'm gonna slide them a little bit. Just pick everything up, otherwise it's gonna be the same everywhere. So I'm gonna rotate this one as well. Maybe let's just get a little bit funky. Let's just scale them a little bit, maybe on the opposite direction. There you go. That's a good question as well. Yeah, I'll do that as well. So what if you have 2 meshes that you want to uncombine, right? I'll just hit the if you don't click faces, right? In this case, you will select the entire mesh. You can probably hit separate, and now it's one mesh again, right? So don't click on the faces to select the parts that you want to separate. And then you click separate and separate it, which is why we call it separate. So separate to separate meshes, right? Don't forget to save. Again, the same thing here. Gonna do 2 here. It's easy, right? My is not that difficult once you get the hang of it. Let's do something funky here. Let's make it a little bigger. That's kind of cool. Okay, same thing here. I'm just gonna add probably 4 edge loops here. Why not? Same thing. I'm just gonna make it a little bit more less perfect. Just gonna rotate a little bit. Just gonna maybe scale this one up a little bit, maybe a little bit down. This one's kind of cute. Just make it less perfect. Now this is not very interesting to watch, so I'm not gonna do this entire stream. But what I also always do if I have what I also do if I have polygons left, in this case I've got 7,000 left, so I might as well do it, right? Is I like to bevel everything, right? In this case I'm gonna bevel the shit out of this one. I'm gonna grab these. I'm just gonna hit bevel. Maybe like 0.2 probably, like this. Now it looks way more interesting than this one, right? This is way more fun to look at. This looks really sharp and not very friendly. This looks really nice and happy, you know. So simple but easy way to do is bevel everything. Make sure that you delete unnecessary faces like this one and that one. So again, this one as well. I'm gonna grab my face here. I'm gonna bevel it. Nope. Come on. Double click, and double click. And again, bevel 0.2, maybe 0.1 if you want to, but it just makes everything look a little bit more nice, right? So again, compare this one to this one. This just looks way more like an actual pole instead of something that's made in Maya. So same thing again. Delete these because I don't need them. Double click them. Bevel. There you go. Way more interesting to look at. And still, I've only added 100 triangles, right, which is nothing. Because I can probably optimize a little bit better here as well, because I've not done that much of optimization yet. And if I'd like the roof as well, why don't you bevel it? But if you can, bevel it. Same thing for here. I'm gonna add a couple of edge loops here. Let's do 4. Move it down, maybe make it a little bigger, rotate it. A little bit more. Is there a back side to this? There is. Which I don't need, so I'm gonna delete them. Beautiful, and again. Oh, I've got one. That is filthy. Oh, I deleted the face. Oops. So, okay, if this happens, right, it can happen. It will happen at some point. Then you just hit extrude. You pull it down, and then you target weld. Come on, you target weld. The first is together. In this case, target weld. This one to that. Nope. This one to that one, and problem is solved. It happens to everyone. Even the pros, unless you like it like some god, then that happens to you, but it happens to everybody. Cool, much better, much better. Again, same thing, but rotate it, move it up. Drag select is fine. It's just, you'll live. It's just have to be a little bit more careful. Okay. Now, common trick as well is to add even more detail to this, because this is still, it looks really flat. You know, I don't really like it. It's okay, you know, it's passable, but what if we add more poles, because poles are amazing. I'm just gonna shrink these down. And the only way I'm doing this, the only reason I'm doing this is to break up big planes like the ones over here, right? This is still a really big face. This is a really big plane. It looks really boring. It's not that interesting. So if you were to break it up a little bit by adding a simple beam or pole in the middle, you make it, you add contrast, right? Which is really good. So here I'm gonna add contrast here by just grabbing this one. I'm just gonna rotate it. Just gonna make sure that it fits like in here. I'm just gonna rotate it. Gonna make sure it sticks out or it sticks in like this. See, this just makes it a little bit more interesting to look at. Otherwise you get this really boring big planes. It's really not interesting to look at. So I'm gonna flip this on some axis. I don't know which one yet. Not that one. Actually, I'm gonna leave it. Also not that one. Oh yeah, I should probably. I knew that, of course. Maya uses Euler angles still, but I think it actually converts the Euler angles into quaternions at some point. But it shows Euler angles. Let me put it like that. It shows Euler angles. Okay, same thing here. I'm just gonna grab one of them. Gonna fuck it up a little bit. And again, I'm gonna show that I'm not being inefficient. We should all be German when it comes to Maya. You all need to be efficient as possible. Oh, I should delete those as well. Well, for those who don't know, by the way, F9 on your keyboard is vertex, F10 is edge, F11 is face. I occasionally use them, because it's fun, but F9, F10, F11 for selection. For those who didn't know, probably a lot of people. So let's do 2 more. So I've been adding a lot of detail on the poles. I'm still only up to 1400. But if you export the object and rotate it in a certain way for an FBX, for example, will it mess up if rotated and all 3 axes have for more than 100? No, because I think it actually exports them again as quaternions. You can actually set it in the FBX export if I'm not mistaken. Let's check it out. Right, you can actually quaternion. Yeah, so it actually stores it as it shows them as Euler. It stores them as quaternions, and then it can convert them back into Euler, or it should just, if you want, you can actually retain the quaternion interpolation. And for those who don't know what quaternions are or Eulers, keep it like that, because that's a rabbit hole that you don't want to get into. Okay, let's do a door. Yeah, I think it just doesn't like Unity, right? It just shows it as Euler, but it's actually not. It's just cheating us. It's just lying to us, right? Just gotta add more. Just make it a little more crooked. Maybe even this one should be a little bit lower, because it looks cool. This one should be a little bit higher. Beautiful. So from here I'm going to just bevel this. Beautiful. I don't need that edge loop at all. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. I mean, you don't want to bother your artist with stuff like quaternions, to be honest. I mean, you could if you want to have a laugh, but for their mentality's sake, you probably just don't want to avoid that at all costs. I'm gonna grab this one, push it up. There you go. I know. It's the house that is made by those who can. Cause why not? Why not? Okay, let's fuck up the chimney. Again, let's just add a hole here. I'm gonna offset this. I'm gonna extrude it down. We have a chimney. I'm just gonna add more edge loops here. So it's a chimney, right? It should not be straight at all. Maybe let's make the side here even bigger. So you get like a little bit of like a funnel happening here. That's kind of cool. I like that. Let's delete the faces on the bottom side because we don't need them. Well, this might be an OCD nightmare, but one of the most important lessons which you can have for when it comes to texturing in 3D is to make everything dirty, like really dirty, because then it just shows that it has been used. Because most people make your house really clean and like, yeah, I'm done, and then you get this perfectly clean house, but it doesn't work like that, right, in real life. So same thing for making everything crooked. It just shows it has been used by people instead of like a perfectly new house that has been built like a day ago. Okay, this is kind of cool though. So we have a giant engon here, right? This is a giant engon. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 vertices. This is the ultimate bad thing you can do, but you can actually fix it really easy. Multiple ways. The easy one is just to have this one to that one. It's done, right? And this one to that one. and you problem solved. These are now all quads, it's perfect. Perfect. Now, it still looks a little bit weird, right? So I'm gonna, like, you can actually see the faceted faces here. So if you want to get rid of this, you can actually go to Mesh Display, Soften Edge, and then it rounds them. It just, this is normal smoothing. It's just based on the vertex normals. It's complicated, let's not talk about it. Let's do this one. I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm just gonna bevel all of it, literally everything. These sides here as well. This here as well. Like almost everything. And bevel. Kinda cool. Not bad. 17 on triangles. It's not super pretty, but it actually is not as burst than I imagined at first, right? So what I would do though is add more here, like a cross beam here, maybe one here as well, and here, just to fill it up, because just to break up these giant squares. You either do that with a texture, or in this case I'll just do it with a mesh. So let me just put this up actually. There you go. Problem solved. Just break up big squares because they look really boring. Same from here. I'll just probably get this one actually. Let's do it right now. Thank you. Bevel this, and also gonna move this one inside here just to break it up even more. Then we're gonna grab this one, this one. Gonna put it to the side again, just to break up the really big faces, big squares, because they're really boring. Still only 1900, looking good. I can still add 6,000 more transfer detail. I don't know what I could add more besides beveling stuff, but we could probably add like a giant skull on the door or something. Why not? But yeah. Let's see. Nah, this looks pretty good. Okay. Let's fuck up the roof, right? Again, also the roof is way too perfect, so I'm gonna make sure it's a little bit more crooked. I'm gonna add. Let's do 2 actually, yeah. Again, I'm just gonna grab one edge, random edge, gonna push it out and push it back in, and just to break up the perfectly flat surface. Maybe this one, just gonna push it all down. Okay. Water slide from the second to the first floor. Why not? You have to make someone happy then, eh? Maybe we can actually. Let's try this. I'm gonna see if I can make one happen right now. I'm gonna no, way too much. Let's do. So this looks, yeah, looks like a nice water slide figure. I'm gonna. Why is it so dense? Let's see if we can. It's been ages since I've actually used like this. I have no idea how this works. I have no idea. I'm actually gonna try. I'm gonna see if I can actually get it done. Let's see if I can do this real fast, real easy. It should be doable. It shouldn't be too difficult actually. Yeah, I know how. Yeah, let's just do this. Let's do this. We're gonna add a water slide because we can. Right, that's off. I'm gonna do it. So, I'm gonna add a hole here. I'm gonna bevel this. I'm gonna keep it open, right? I'm gonna keep it off. I'm gonna none and none. So, a little bit lower. Oh, come on. And one. I'm gonna delete all this. Don't need it. Okay. Cool trick for those who don't know. I know it's doing it. So if you hold shift and then the arrow like greater than, you can actually increase your selection. I'm gonna turn on my soft selection as well, so B. Get a little bit bigger, and then I'm gonna push it up. Should make it a little bigger. Ooh, not like that. A little bit less. Come on. Probably scale down a little bit, but for now I'm just gonna add it. Does this look safe? No, right, but it's fine. These were the dark ages, so we can add a water slide that will kill human beings, right? A little bit more, and then this is where you enter it. Beautiful, amazing, right? I'm gonna. Oh. Push this. This is the exit. Amazing. Gonna make sure it's soft selection. There you go. It's gonna be a tiny water slide though, but. Oh, that's kind of cool though. You can actually go like through the poles. That's beautiful. That's so cool. I want that so bad. Let's go on minus. I'm gonna flip it. Not on this one. Probably set. There you go. That is cool though. I want that in my own house. That's amazing. Actually, like jump in, you go out. That's cool. Unless you end up in the ground, let's move it up. Probably go through the ground. There you go. Gotta shrink this. There's an actual exit. Amazing. Of course, we need to bevel these edges, of course, otherwise someone could get hurt. Look at that. That's amazing. Soften this. That's stunning, right? Would you buy it? Of course you would buy it. Everybody would buy it. It's amazing. No, they will kill the human, so. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Good. I know, right? It's amazing. It's amazing. So, one more thing, and then we're gonna call it a night. You may have noticed though that all these values here are really weird, right? You got like the scale of minus of 0.381. This probably has a scale of fucked up scale. This has a fucked up scale. Everything has a fucked up scale, right? So this is bad. Usually, I mean, especially if you want to export into a game engine, this is really bad. So what we need to do is we need to what we call freeze transformations. So you can grab all your objects all at once. And you can just hit go to modify and freeze transformations. And everything will be set to 0, 0, 0 and 1, 1, 1 on the scale axis. Then also we need to again make sure that we did history. This one. In this case I'm going to hit all by type, so I can do all the history at once. Every object in the scene as it's all done. Now we have a shit ton of objects right now, right? We got like all these meshes here that don't have a name. So what we should do for now is I'm gonna grab all of it, like literally all of it, and then I'm gonna hit mesh and then combine. So it's now one mesh, but you can see right, you can still have those weird numbers here, and those are groups in Maya, but they're empty. They only have a hidden transform underneath it, which we don't need, right? So after you've merged your object, you need to make sure that you delete your history, and now see what happens. Right, I'm just gonna push it right here so you can see what happens. Magic will happen and poof, they're all gone, right? Except for these ones, because they're nothing. So these ones are still, you actually just delete them and nothing will happen, because this is nothing, this is just objects that we don't need. And then actually could not delete history. Let's try this one more time. Delete all by type. No, we still delete it manually. This is just scene clean up. I'm gonna call this water slide. Yes, one mesh for the final assignment. Correct. Yeah. It will also make your life a whole lot easier when it comes to texturing. If everything's just one single mesh in this case, it will make everything a little bit easier. Again, if you fuck up, if you're like, oh shit, this window should not be attached, you just go to face mode, double click on it, so it will actually select the spot over here, for example, on my chimney or whatever. And then I'm gonna go to my separate button over here, and it's now a separate mesh again, right? Again, I'm gonna undo this, so it's now one mesh again. There you go. Beautiful house, right? It's this is how I also modeled, for example, this one, same method that I used. Just this one looks a little bit more complicated, for example. It's the same way of modeling. So this is how I modeled it, except for like the stones, it's a different method, but I'll talk about it some other time. Same method. Let's see if I can have more. This one is scaled. I'll grab 5, I don't know. Oh, this is already UV'd, we should close this. Doesn't scare people. Okay. Again, same thing. Oh, I'm gonna turn off. Same method, just a different design. Same method, again you can see right, I beveled all the pillars over here, or those wooden beams, I beveled all of them. So it's pretty. This is as 8K triangle 8.5. Because it's stones, right? There's a lot of stones here that you can imagine. Same method though. Let's grab, I don't know what I made. It's been a while. Oh, something oops. Oh, this is actually done by student. This is actually kind of cool. Yeah, the sea fighting. This was actually done by a student for this assignment, for those actually watching that are my students. This was done for the assignment long time ago, when we were all still young and innocent. Right. This was done for the assignment. This was kind of cool. I updated a little bit, so I added a little bit more detail and beveled the edges here. But this was actually done. I don't have that Master Ryan Games. I don't have a porn folder. Do you? Well, apparently you do, right? Oh. Same method again. It's a little more complicated shapes. No, actually I like a more of a curved objects here because it looks fun. A little bit more complicated shapes here as well, though I'll probably do it next week. It was really easy. It's just adding more detail. This is always pretty, right? It gets really nice looking, complicated looking windows, even though they're just a plane that I just extruded and we're done, right? It's pretty easy. But I'll do this next week. I'll show how to do this next week. Like all these, this is like this sort of stuff, right? This is so easy to model, but it just makes it look so much cooler, right? It just adds more visual detail, even though it's just a couple of cubes that you extruded, right? Or not even extruded, I just scaled them up a little bit. That was it. It looks so much better though. Like this sort of stuff, it just adds more detail, visual detail to your building, and it's super easy to model. And I'll do it next week. So, I hope you all had fun and enjoyed this. I'm gonna go and drink a nice cold beer. So I'd say have a nice weekend, everybody, and next week same time, ish, probably around 7, 7:15, and then I'll see you then, okay? And thank you for watching.